Those are some noises that the voice actor had to do. My vision came back at the same time. Whoever had grabbed me had covered my eyes as well as my mouth. They had been crushed after all. Ow. I doubled over in pain as she punched me in the stomach. I could feel stomach acid coming up into my throat and burning it. The pain made my head feel much clearer. When I looked up, I didn't see a monster with the head of a sumo sticker anymore. Just a dark, musty hallway. Hallucination or delusion. And normally when we get out of a delusion, there's like a little effect where like, it's like turning off a TV or whatever. But not this time. We just get knocked out of it. Weird. Is that going to be a thing, throughout the story? We just get forced delusions? Which, when you think about it, it's kind of interesting, Because normally we get a choice, but then you get forced into delusions, so you never know what's real or not, I guess. That's the idea. If they did that at the very beginning, it might feel cheap, but because we had a choice before, I guess it works. Kunosato? Wasn't that... Oh right, that girl who was with Shinjo? Yeah, I remember that cold voice. I looked back at the speaker. Unbeknownst to Takaru, he's actually her biggest fan, but... Well, we use stealth techniques. Played a lot of Metal Gear Solid, you see. We checked the Salton radar and, kept out of sight and everything. Actually, we just kind of got lucky, Sure, we had a bit of a bad time in the autopsy room, but it had really been hard to get here. None of the doors have been locked. Again, interesting. When I told her that, Kunosato glared at us with suspicious eyes. Whose eyes are they?
Kunosato-san? まあいい。とにかく邪魔だ。今すぐ帰れ。
おいおい、そりゃないだろ。助けてくれたのは感謝するけどさ、いきなり邪魔者扱いとか。
Did she solve everything with violence? The next instant, Kunosato had closed the gap between Ito and herself and started strangling him. Ah yes, this is how she just normally greets people.
騒ぐなと言ったのが聞こえなかったのか。
Ito nodded, tears coming out of his eyes. I could understand why. I didn't know how she could store so much power in her tiny body, but I just felt it for myself. Ito rubbed his throat in pain as she let him go.
もう一度言う。邪魔だ。帰れ。
Her voice was intimidating enough that I almost obeyed, but we come here for a reason. And... we keep flashbacking to that, again and again. This place had something to do with our past. If I could, I wanted to find out what happened then. Maybe we could get rid of the nightmare that had been making us suffer for so long. So even though she scared me, I needed to tell her straight.
僕たちは
私たちはやらなきゃいけないことがあって来たんです。そんな風に頭ごなしに帰れって言われても帰れません。
尾上
That was what I was trying to say.
尾上お前尾上セリカか。
Why is she so surprised? I mean, didn't she see her before, or?
そうですけど。
I mean, there was that one time, you know, when the police was investigating. I mean, I don't know. She was there, right? Oh.
何かいや、とにかく帰るんだ。
Okay.
危険なのは分かってます。でも僕たちだってどうしても。
誰がお前たちの心配をしている？
え？
私は私の目的があってここにいる。お前たちに勝手な行動をされて、その目的の遂行を邪魔されては困ると、そう言ってるんだ。
How cold?
その目的って何なんです？
お前たちには関係ない。
She turned around and started to walk away.
いいですよ。だったら僕たちも勝手にしますから。
しますから。何？
She turned around and stared at us. Her glare was like a fierce panther's. I swallowed my words, but Serica didn't.
理由も話せないような人の言うことになんて従えません。貴様。
Be quiet, Serica. Now she's yelling. She gonna get choked too?
さあ、タク、しんちゃんも行こう。急いでタクのスマホ見つけなきゃ。
ああ。やっぱ女っていざって時強えな。
Ito whispered in my ear.
だったらおとなしくついてこい。私の言うことに逆らうなよ。
え？いいんすか？
Ito had become very polite toward her after she strangled him, I guess.
時間がないんだ。しかも、ここまで慎重に調査を進めてきたのに、お前たちが見つかったり、騒ぎを起こされでもしたら、すべてが水の泡になる。
Her arrogant manner was almost enough to make me talk back to her, but then I realized something. If she'd done a lot of careful investigation, that meant she had information that we didn't. So wouldn't it be better to pretend to obey for now?
それで最後にはこっちが利用してやる。
That's very... I mean, I guess it's because she's so being rude to us, you know. Now we're saying that maybe we can use her instead, you know. But I don't know. She's like... I don't know. I guess she's like... She's the character that's like super aloof and everything, but she knows more about the mystery than us and everything, you know. She's like a veteran or something. But she's stuck with us like noobs, I guess.
壁沿いに静かについてこい。大きな音や声は出すな。
She looked down the hallway and then moved over to the wall. And then she started to move, quickly and quietly. I made eye contact with Ito and Serica, then followed her. The further down the hallway we went, the darker it got. The lights were sporadically placed, and half of them were burnt out. You had to look carefully to see more than a few meters ahead. The only things that I had to guide me were the black-haired girl in front of me and the wall that I was touching with my hand. The wall had been repaired for a long time. In some places, the paint had fallen off, and in parts the steel beams underneath were exposed. This place must have been built a long, long time ago. We walked through the underground labyrinth as quietly as we could. None of my five senses were of any use to me now, and I had no idea where I was or how I'd gotten there. But Kunasato seemed to know exactly where she was going. Looking back, Maybe we're lucky to meet her.
なんだ
Damn it, is Mio? I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm reminded because Kunosato's character, Kunosato Mio's character, just reminds me of every kind of like horror movie, especially when zombies are involved. You know, the one person who's like the badass. You know, the older badass mentor person who's like, you know, a little aloof at the beginning, but turns out to be a very powerful ally. But they always just die at the end. I don't know. So like, as it turns out, being very competent tends to put a big giant death flag on you. But I don't know. We'll see, I guess. I had no idea how long we've been walking. But we finally came to the part of the hallway with a row of doors on the opposite wall. The doors were made of steel and looked very strong. On the upper part of each was what looked like a number plate. There were tiny windows on the doors, but they had thick bars on them. They looked like the solitary confinement cells I seen on TV show once.
この中に人がいやまさかな
The space beyond the bars was pitch black, and I couldn't tell there was anything inside.
なんか気味悪いな。
だから黙って歩け。
Shut up.
すいません。
Stop making noise. You'll alert the guards. Ito quickly apologized, but Kunosato turned around, walked up to him, and wrapped her hand around his throat again.
遊びじゃないんだ。お前死ぬぞ。
Ito nodded again and again until she finally glared at him one last time and let him go. He's gotta lose a lot of brain cells this way. But he put his hand to his throat and moaned a little. It was obvious that Kunosato wasn't messing around. Maybe this place was more dangerous than I thought. No? Suddenly I heard the sound of someone pounding the door from the inside. Reminds me of someone else, you know, always pounding the wall over and over again. The club room, anyway. Someone was inside?
なんなんだよ、おい。
Shut up, guys. You're not supposed to be... I don't know.
静かにしろ。騒ぐな。
She always has to remind them, just don't talk so loudly. But... We almost screamed, but when we saw Kunosato's glare, we quickly put our hands over our mouths. What the hell was that voice? Sarika tugged frantically at my arm. Then Ito grabbed onto me too. I wanted to cling to someone too, but there's no one for me to grab. Okay. Grab yourself.
あっちの扉の中から目が。
Whose eyes are those eyes?
何
I'm just reminded of that phrase now. Whose eyes are those eyes? I looked over where Ito was pointing and tried to see for myself. But I couldn't see anything.
気のせいだろ
いや、確かに見た。間違いなく目だった。
Now they were singing. I could hear a girl singing a tiny, barely audible voice. Creak, creak. A woman was pushing an old baby carriage down the hallway toward us. She was the one singing. Okay. Sarika and Ito cringed in terror. My heart was beating so fast and so loud that I could hear the sound echoing in my ears.
止まれ。壁に張り付いてじっとしていろ。 向こうにはこっちが見えていない。
Okay, this is like, I don't know. What does it remind me of? Remind me of some kind of like horror, you know? Horror game maybe? Horror movie? I'm not sure.
いいから喋るな。
Well, Kurosato pushed her back against the wall and stopped breathing. We did the same, our bodies shaking with fear as we moved.
もっとお歌歌ってほしいのね。
Okay. I guess this entire basement level is just full of crazy people, alright? Whee! Creak, creak. The sound of the creaking old carriage got closer and closer as the woman passed near us. Kunosato was right. Her eyes were hazy and out of focus, and she didn't seem to notice us. But she was only a meter away. Slowly, slowly, she sang as she pushed the carriage right past us. Ito was so terrified his body started to spasm. Okay. He gave a small cry. It's just a mother going on a walk with her baby. I don't see the problem here. The woman stopped right in front of us and slowly turned around. Her empty eyes stared at us, then slowly, jerkily, like a broken machine, she tilted her head. Hello, lady, have you seen my phone? We clung to the wall and held our breath, unable to move a muscle. We were too scared to even close our eyes. I couldn't take it anymore. I wanted out. I don't know why. What's so scary about it? I mean, I guess maybe there's something weird in her carriage. But otherwise, she just seems like a crazy person. Mostly harmless. Unless she has, I don't know, knives in her carriage maybe. I wanted to get away from here. If I stayed here another minute, I was gonna go crazy. The woman stared at us for what felt like hours. But then she looked forward once more as if nothing had happened, and started to walk again. Random thought, but maybe this has something to do with the earthquake? The earthquake victims, Because I can imagine her, like, that same scene, but instead of, like, in this hallway, like, actually after the aftermath of that earthquake, That could be a thing as well. As a way of mourning over her dead baby, maybe? Assuming her baby died? No. We almost collapsed to the ground in relief. I couldn't take my eyes off her as she disappeared into the darkness.
自分たちがどういう場所にいるのか少しは分かったか。
It's a horror place, I guess. A bunch of crazy people, I guess. I don't know. Even as we've been almost crushed by the terror, Kurosato had been completely calm.
帰りたいと泣いてももう遅いからな。そこが目的の部屋だ。
Kurosato moved away from the wall and stared straight in front of us.
目的の部屋?
I followed her gaze to a pair of double doors in the darkness. They were different than the others. They looked like the doors to a normal lab.
来い。遅れるな。
Kurosato headed toward the doors, seeming completely unafraid. Terika's legs were shaking too much for her to move, so Ita and I helped her as we followed. When we got to the door, Kurosato took out what looked like a keycard from her skirt pocket. This door had a modern electronic lock, unlike the others we've seen so far. She put the keycard up to the reader, and the door swung open silently. She disappeared into the room, and we quickly followed. We all gasped as we entered the room. An entire wall of the room was lined with monitors. That's a lot of monitors. It's like a multi-monitor setup. I mean, I've heard like 3 monitors, even 4 monitors, but these seem like much more. Anyway, they were probably set up to observe something, but every one of them was off, so there was no way to tell what. But it was hard to believe that someone would set up something like this in a normal hospital. Or it could be like a security room. That could be a thing as well.
Oi.
Kunosato turned toward Ito and gave him an order in a flat, emotionless voice.
見張りくらいはやってもらおう。ドアの外の音に注意してろ。誰か来たら知らせるんだ。
了解。
Kunosato nodded, looked around the room, and then headed straight for a computer. She took a look at the wiring behind it, then flipped the power switch. The machine started to make a low noise.
動くんですか？
見ればわかるだろ
う。でも勝手に立ち上げたりして大丈夫なんすかね？
どうして？
だってネットでつながってたりしたら動かしてることバレるんじゃ。
心配ない。こいつがスタンドアローンだということは確認してある。
A standalone system. I mean, I think I know what that means, but we'll see. What does it mean specifically? Like a computer isolated from any other computers, okay? Well, before the internet, all PCs are standalone, but now it isn't because we live in a world where there is internet, I guess. Dying message. Well, there have been several cases where dying messages were left in actual murders. Really? I don't know. Because I usually see them in, in the stories, but not actually in like actual murders. Is it really a thing? I don't know. I waved it off as something that only you see in fiction, but actually it might be real. Gun Barrel, I guess. I think is basically an anime. I think maybe like a parody of like Gundam, maybe. I don't know. Amazing 3D CG battles. Anyway, and back at old tip words. Oh, that explained it. If that was true, at least we wouldn't have to worry about someone seeing it from the outside. But how did she know that, though? Considering that Kunosato is wearing a lab coat and everything, maybe she worked here before?
お前たちが思いつくようなことを私が考えないとでも思ったのか。バカにするなよ。
She was as obnoxious as ever. Neither of us know the first thing about you, though, so can you really blame us? Well, something that neither Ito nor I could say. It's not monitors. I was saying before, yeah, it's like this is a very elaborate setup for a PC. I think you need like multiple graphics cards to do this. I mean, the OS on the computer booted up. I looked at the screen and saw Kunosato was entering some kind of password. There's only 3 screens are on, though. Password was accepted and the screen filled with several folders. She opened them up and began carefully checking the contents of each one. Unfortunately, many of the files were written in English and we had no idea what they said, but, she knows English. At least from what we saw before, for really very good English. Kunosato, however, was reading through each one and nodding.
これはフォルダ自体にパスがかかってるな。ということはこの先か。
She seemed to be trying to unlock the password at incredible speed. Is she a super hacker?
なんだよ。
彼女、学校で見たことあるか？
いや、どうしてだ？
学校にいたんだよ。うちの制服着て。だからうちの生徒のはずなんだけど。そうか、お前も見たことないのか？
マジかよそれ。
Ito seemed more shocked than I expected.
嘘だろ。こんな美人、俺がチェックしてなかっただとは。
Not only was she attractive, and she seemed incredibly smart, and she had an arrogant attitude that made her nothing like the other students. If she'd been coming to school, she would have stood out in both a good way and a bad way. But Ito didn't know her.
何を調べてるんですか？
Sarika asked a question that both Ito and I had been too afraid to ask. I was sure she'd be told to shut up, but
この施設で何が行われていたかだよ。
she answered Sarika's question much more easily than I expected. Then maybe I could ask something too.
この施設って病院とは何か関係が？
黙ってろと言っただろうが。
Okay. Damn it. Why was I getting treated so differently? You're not a cute anime girl, so... Is it because Sarika was a girl? Was she one of the, you know, those types? What do you mean? What do you mean, those types? I don't understand. Don't tell me she normally dressed and acted like a boy. Or do you mean like... I don't know. So are you saying she's gay? Is that what you're saying? It's a weird way to think about it, but anyway. That'll explain why Ito didn't know her. Konosato ignored me and typed in a series of commands and opened what looked like a top secret file. I mean, I support Yuri, so I'm gonna say. And then...
Jared.
She smiled for the first time that I'd never seen and clicked on the file. And then something appeared on the screen. Okay, it's an ink blot thing. Was it some kind of drawing? There's a strange picture drawn in ink and paint.
何これ？落書き？
いや違う。あれは
It's the Rorschach test. What is this? Psychodiagnostics. Okay. I've seen it somewhere before. That was...
そうか。ロールシャッハテストだ。
Yep, I've seen it in the magazine. I remember reading about them in an issue of Cool Cat Press.
ほう。抜けた顔しているが、最低限の知識はあるようだな。
Bare minimum of knowledge. I mean, it is bare minimum knowledge. I feel like anyone would know this, you know? You gotta be, I don't know. You have to be very ignorant to not know what the Rorschach test is. You might not know, like, the name of it, but you've seen this before in every, like, TV show or whatever. You've seen this before. I wasn't sure if that was a compliment or an insult.
ロールシャッハテスト？
あれだ。確か性格診断かなんかの。
そう。インクのシミでできた全く意味のない図形が何に見えるかで、その人の性格や思考が分析できるんだ。
正確に言えば、インクのシミを落とした紙を真ん中で折り曲げ、それで生じた左右対称の図形を使う。
Just like Konosato said, all the pictures on the screen were almost perfectly symmetrical. I guess.
ただし、ロールシャッハテスト自体、果たして精神分析法として有効かどうか、疑問視もされているんだがな。
Konosato was studying the screen intently.
ってことは、ここはその、上にある精神科と同じような施設だったということですか？
If that was the case, I could imagine what these monitors were there for. They were to look at each other or look at each of the patients' room. That would mean that this was a medical facility that treated illnesses. At least, that's what I wanted it to mean. Because the thing that Sarika and I had seen as a child, that strange atmosphere that we sense, and that voice which I could still hear in my ears. Who's that in the background, by the way? There's another person there. But we always see the pink-haired girl in front, but there is someone behind her that sometimes pops up, sometimes fades out. Is that... I think I know... well, we'll see, I guess. I think she looks familiar. As well. Well, we abandoned her and ran away from this place. So if that wasn't some kind of torture chamber, and this place was actually curing her, Sarah would be free of the guilt that had been with us for so long. But my hopes.
違う。ここはそんな生優しい場所じゃない。
I think in the Japanese she said like, it isn't like that. Isn't like as gentle as you think. I guess that's what she said in Japanese. It isn't as positive, as you think. Anyway, we're quickly dashed by Kunosoto's answer. She opened another folder. It was filled with reports written in Japanese this time.
センスへの断続的刺激による臨床実験。ロブスに与える電気信号とフェノメノン。
Okay, I assume these are just, human experiments. This is what this place is, I guess?
思った通り、ここでは脳科学方面からのアプローチによる臨床実験が行われていたようだな。
脳科学
Brain science.
臨床実験って
I mean that's called neuroscience, isn't it? Not brain science? I don't know.
うるさい。余計な口を挟むな。
でも僕のよく知ってる子がここにいたかもしれないんです。
何？
Nani? I lied. Okay. Oh, okay. I was confused. Like, what do you mean by that? No, I guess Takuru did lie. I didn't know who she was. But if I didn't lie, it didn't feel like she was going to tell me anything. Just as I expected, when she turned around, I saw the first faint glimmerings of interest in me on Kunosato's face. I gave her a brief description of what I witnessed here so long ago. Kunosato bit her lip. Her expression was different than before, but then she forced herself to look back at the computer.
はあ。それは間違いなく人体実験だ。
Alright.
人体
That's confirmed.
実験
No, then that meant... We keep going back to this scene. How can you talk, by the way? Isn't her mouth... There's like a ball gag, I guess. So you can't talk. Maybe she's using her psychic powers, I don't know. That meant she was... That horrible vision started to eat away at me again.
簡単に言えば人間の脳をいじる実験だよ。
脳をいじるってそんな
Alright, so we're getting into conspiracies now. Alright.
だから言っただろ。ここはそんな生優しい場所じゃないと。
Kunosato was trying to keep her face as expressionless as possible. And then the second she opened another file, she gasped a little. I could see the words on the screen as well.
ちょっと待て。なんだよあれ。
She was completely focused on reading the report. So she didn't notice that I was looking over her shoulder as well.
超感覚的知覚に関する臨床実験。特殊な事象異変を発現させるための具体的傾向。
Okay, so I assume... alright, again, I'm giving it a chance, but basically, I guess this is where the special powers at least originated from, I guess. They're doing human experiments. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that some people now have special powers and they're psychics and everything. This is how they're justifying it, I guess. I don't know. What were event fluctuations? Event fluctuations. Kunosato clicked the mouse to move to the next page. I read along with her.
視覚刺激による発症。的中率 9.25%。
Pathogenesis via visual stimulation. Accuracy rating, not very good. Pathogenesis, what does that mean? Sometimes they, part of the mechanics of this visual novel, sometimes they define certain words, that are hard to, understand without context. I want to know what pathogenesis means. I don't know what that means. I think patho has something to do with, illness. I don't know what genesis. Genesis, combining something? I don't know. Or something being born?
中脳辺縁系ニューロンのドーパミン分泌の誘発による発現。
Okay. So they use like dopamine to invoke something.
発症見られず思考のトレースリモートビューイング妄想の増幅による事象への影響
Ah, yes, delusions. Over half of the report was filled with specialized language that I didn't really understand. Yeah, then why didn't? Okay, I guess that's the point, though. I guess they're not defining it because you're not supposed to know, right? Takaru doesn't know any of this, and I also can't really understand all of it. They're creating something using dopamine. That's like these are all like tests, right? They're trying to do different experiments in order to induce the person to activate their special powers. I imagine something like that. Damage removal. Hypothalamic area. I don't know what hypothalamic is. Maybe somewhere in the brain? I don't know. No. But by desperately connecting the words I did know, I managed to make some sense of the report. And...
まさかそんなことが
I was stunned. Was that really possible? The girl who cried to us for help was being experimented on here. And the point of those experiments was...
人間の脳をいじって超常的な特殊能力を発症させる実験
I mean, yeah. You guys barfing the stickers again. Well, that explained why Shinjo and Kunasato was talking about psychics. And that was the commonality that I suspected was lurking behind the murders.
Oi.
I mean, which makes me wonder, are all the victims somehow, they come from this, like, these weird experiments, or are they just collateral damage, you know? Like, they weren't directly related to experiment, but somehow got involved, you know, by other people who were involved in the human experiment somehow? I don't know. Like, if I had to guess, maybe someone went rogue in the project and stole the method in order to gain those powers and is now going around just murdering a bunch of people, you know, giving them powers, but then those powers end up killing them or something like that. I don't know. Well, Kunasato caught me looking and threatened me in a low voice. But I didn't have time to worry about that. Because, I mean, normally, you know, if you're like a
これ本当なんですか
super secret
SF みたいなことが本当に
science, oh, it is science fiction. This visual novel is science fiction, but anyway. Because I imagine if you were involved in this project and you were like a super secret government, you know, scientist, you would keep this all under wraps, right? You wouldn't just like go around killing a bunch of people for no reason. That would draw too much attention. You would kill people secretly, not openly, but anyway. Well, she looked unhappy but gave in.
実験自体は随分と前から行われていたようだ。というよりも、この病院自体がその実験のカモフラージュのために建てられたと考えてもいい。
この病院が
ああ。
Assuming that
それで今は
Assuming that the hospital, I mean, we heard before, Koshin, I believe, Koshin or whatever, some like corporation who was involved in funding the reconstruction of Shibuya and everything. I mean, I guess they're the company behind it, behind this entire conspiracy. Maybe they also made this hospital, I guess.
はあ？
今は行われてるんですかその実験
If that was true, was she still here?
いや。ある出来事をきっかけに中止されたらしい。
Yeah. A certain event, because I assume they were canceled, because otherwise, why would there be a crazy person walking around with a carriage? I imagine maybe I guess the victims of the experiments are still walking about, but, you know, the actual scientists and doctors, I guess, are not around really.
中止されたのはちょうど6年前。2009年11月6日。
Earthquake, I guess?
それって
渋谷地震の日
地震のせいで研究どころじゃなくなったのか
いいや違うな。この病院は震源域の外だ。被害は全く受けていない。
じゃあどうして
だから それを探って。
Kurosato stopped short and clicked her tongue. She must have decided she told us too much.
いいからおとなしくしていろ。
She pushed me away from the screen lightly. It looked like she didn't want me to read anymore.
これは。
You know, I imagine it wasn't, well, like, the reason the experiment stopped, if I had to guess, you know, it's not so much the damage, but probably the earthquake did something, you know, supernaturally, and it corrupted the experiments maybe, or something. That's why they had to stop the experiments, because it went out of control. But anyway, Kunosato's hand froze on the mouse. She was staring intently at the screen. Then she started to talk to herself.
11番目のロールシャッハが脳に与える影響。11番目。
The 11th Rorschach, okay. She just knocked me away so that I couldn't see the screen, but I couldn't help but lean forward. Her voice was just as strange.
どうしたんですか？
ロールシャッハテストには10種類の絵しか存在しない。
Is that such a surprise?
11番目なんて聞いたことも。
The 11th Rorschach test.
だから黙ってろお前。
Very surprising, I guess. It's just funny that she's making a big deal out of like a 11th Rorschach test, as if it's the, like, you know, the biggest shock of the entire world. It will like send ripples, you know, across the scientific community. Someone made an additional ink blot on the paper. Oh no! Anyway, Kurosato turned around and glared at me. When she did, I caught a glimpse of the monitor. Yeah, and there you go. The screen was filled with thumbnails of different Rorschach tests. And Kurosato was just about to click on this mysterious 11th Rorschach. Kurosato clicked to open the file. And when she did, everyone freaking died. No, confidential. It's the sumo sticker, right? It's kind of hard to tell. I like the sumo sticker. It reminds me of the sumo sticker, I guess. I can't really see the eyes. I see the mouth, you know, this is the mouth and everything. I don't see the eyes. So, I guess that's what it is, the sumo sticker. What appeared on the screen was... Oh. Oh, delusion time. Okay. Ah! What was going on? I felt sick. I couldn't stand. I collapsed to the floor. I felt like something was crawling up from the bottom of my intestines. Or intestines? That something was bugs. I don't know. Tiny slimy bugs with lots of little feet were crawling out from my stomach into my throat, scattering disgusting fluids behind them as they moved. The disgusting crawling sensation passed through my throat and out into my mouth. What the hell were these things? Stop it! Help me! I feel sick! Help me! Get out of my body!
タク
Taku?
タクしっかりしてよタクってば
Huh? Did I fall asleep? No, that wasn't it. I looked at the screen and got sick. And then I passed out? Where was I? My head felt awfully cold.
なんだか気持ちがいいね
What? What's going on? I could hear Sarika's voice, but I couldn't see her. Where was I?
ほら見て見てしんちゃんったらあんな格好になってる
Ito was here?
私とタクもお揃いだね
What's going on? Matching? What was she talking about? When I looked to the side and saw it, my head cleared instantly. Serica was next to me, lying in the same seat I seen the girl in the vision sitting in. What was strange was her head. There's something on top of it, slimy and pink. Oh, yes. No, that wasn't it. That was... Okay. Oh. Is she lobotomized or something? I guess so. That was her brain. Yes. The top of Serica's skull was completely gone, with several electrodes sticking out what remained. I kinda wanna see it. It's not there. Oh well. Can't see her exposed brain. She's just laughing. I suddenly heard a high-pitched voice from the other side. Oh, okay. He's also part of the experiment, I guess. It took some time before I realized that the voice belonged to Ito. That's how insane it sounded. Very funny. I don't know, it just sounds funny to me. I couldn't tell if Ito was screaming in pain or pleasure. His head his brain was exposed, and part of it seemed to be missing. Yes.
気持ちいいねトク。
I tried to move, but was held down tight and couldn't budge. Oh, Mio's here. I heard a cold voice from above my head. The voice was...
今すぐお前もあいつのようにしてやる。だからじっとしているがいい。
Okay. Something cold touched my head. At least that's how it felt. It felt good. Like my brain was going to melt. And soon I wasn't sure where I ended, and the rest of the world began. Okay, well. Bleep. Alright, that was a delusion. Somehow. That was activated by that weird sumo sticker Rorschach ink blob, or ink blot. That might be related, I don't know. Maybe Takaru, well, if I had to guess, maybe Takaru was somehow affected by those experiments as well. Either directly or indirectly, maybe. I don't know. That's why he had such an intense reaction to that sumo sticker, I guess. Maybe... well, we'll see, I guess. Because maybe all these victims have something to do with these human experiments, either directly or indirectly. But I don't know. It was never really mentioned. I don't know. We'll see. But like, I don't know if Takaru or Saraka or any of the victims were ever involved in the human experiments, or that they are somehow indirectly related. You know, somehow like they weren't in the experiments, but they somehow like was connected to someone who was, and that's why they're having similar symptoms. And I don't know. I'll just wait and see, I guess. Where was I? I was back in the basement?
トク大丈夫？
あ、大丈夫だ。起きられるか？ほら。
Ito slowly helped me to my feet.
軽い。僕、どうしたんだ？
画面にね例の怖いシールがいきなりアップになったからびっくりしたんだよ。それで転んでタクは頭を打っちゃって。
そうか。
I rubbed the back of my head, and sure enough, there was a big bump. Misato was staring at me from in front of the screen. I thought she was gonna complain again, but instead she pulled me up to look at the screen. Look at this sumo sticker again.
確かめてもらいたいことができた。来い。
あのシールなら許してください。なんか気分が優れなくて。
いや、あれじゃない。いいから来い。
見るなって言ったり見ろって言ったり。
なんだ。
わかりましたよ。
Since it was clear that she wasn't going to take no for an answer, I stood next to her.
お前に確認してほしいのはこのファイルだ。
Kunosato tapped the report on the screen with her nails.
11番目のロールシャン派。さっきの画像に何らかの効果があるとみなされて、初めて実験に使用されたのが2007年とある。
2007 was 2 years before the Shibuya quake. That was right about the time people started to see the sumo stickers, if I remember right. And that was the same year we snuck in here to find out the truth about the urban legend of Amy. I took the mouse and read the next part.
自称変異を起こす素養を持つ存在のみが人の顔を模したように見える11番目の画像に対し、通常の人間とは異なる反応を示す。そのことが判明した。
Okay, will that make, Takaru also like a psychic, I guess? He has powers? Is that what we're gonna lead up
この症状
to?
が最初に観測されたのは、被験体番号第79号、南沢千里からであり。
See that name again. The one who apparently died in the earthquake. His name is on the memorial, and, Kurusu knows as well, apparently. And then I stopped scrolling down the screen. There's a picture of a girl there. Is it... Well,
その子に見覚えがあるか。
I think I know who it is.
タク、この子。
Show the picture.
あ、
Remember her? That was the girl. That was the girl we seen that day. Yep. So I think my suspicions are confirmed, at least insofar as her identity. I think she's Mimasawa, or how you say her name? Mimasawa? Minamisawa? Something, whatever? Minamisawa Senri, is that what it was? I can look back at this. Minamisawa, rather. Minamisawa Senri. Yeah, that's her. The pink hair and the bow and everything. And she's connected to Kurusu Nono. I guess, what was the relationship? I think they're like best friends, right? Or maybe sister? I can't remember actually. Kurusu mentioned something. I think it's like best friend. I'm not sure. That was the girl who had seen us and begged for help. Kunosato looked at me.
さっき話していたこの施設にいたかもしれない友達というのはこの子なんだな。
はい。
I wasn't sure how to answer, but I decided to keep up the lie that she was my friend. The truth was, I had only just learned that her name was Minamisawa Senri.
そうか。
But Kunosato looked very sad. I didn't know she was even capable of looking that way. She stared at the picture of Minamisa, I can say that. Mina-chan, no, Minamisawa Senri on the screen.
私はお前のことは嫌いだが、ここで苦しんでいた友達をずっと忘れないでいることには敬意を払ってもいい。
Okay, so this newfound respect is actually, misplaced. It should be given to Kurusu, actually. But, oh well, just lie to her, that's fine. Her eyes grew just a little softer. Because I'm thinking, well, I mean, the reason why she's actually a little bit more forgiving now is because she probably had a friend as well who was also a victim to these human experiments, maybe, and that's why she's so involved in this case as well. But I felt a cold sweat as I looked at them. It wasn't out of friendship that I'd never been able to forget the girl named Minamisawa Senri. It was because she was in my nightmare. But I couldn't say that. All I could do was try and make it hard to tell what I was really thinking.
本当は救いたかったのに、それができなかった。でも、それは仕方のないことだ。気に病むことはない。
そうじゃない。違うんだ。
I have been too afraid to save her, and I have abandoned her.
今彼女はどうしているんだろう。
Kunosato didn't realize what I was thinking, though. She caught up more data on the girl called Minamasawa Senri.
彼女は11番目の画像で特殊な兆候を見せた被験者としてかなり強引な実験を受けていたようだ。でも死ぬことなく生き延びた。
I mean, yeah, she's not dead. Forced for experiments. The kind that could kill you. When I heard that, I almost threw up. I did my best to keep Kunosato from finding out.
だが渋谷地震の時に運悪く震源域に居合わせて、それ以降は行方不明ということになっているな。
Missing, though.
行方不明？
いや、正確にはこの実験施設が地震の直後に機能を終えてしまったため、彼女に関するデータが存在しないというのが正しい。ただ地震の犠牲になった可能性は高いな。
そうですか。
It was horrible, but I felt a little less like throwing up. At least, she hadn't died because of the experiments or because we had abandoned her. Hearing that made me feel like I'd been forgiven a little. You know, instead of dying because I couldn't save her, she died somewhere else. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Less guilty, I guess. A violent sense of self-hatred overcame me again.
ごめん。南沢、千里さん。
She'd been practically tortured here as part of those experiments, and then been caught in that earthquake. Well, that is quite an unfortunate turn of events. You know, she finally escaped, but then she died in the earthquake. Or at least that's what we're led to believe, I guess. But and then I felt something tugging at the edge of my memories.
南沢さん？
Hadn't I heard that name somewhere before? But then, where? And from who? I mean, your sister. Hello? I mean, it's more apparent to the reader, obviously, because, you know, we've seen that scene with Kurusu in front of the memorial stone, and also her phone, you know, showed up zoomed in on Minami Senri. So I guess, you know, it's more obvious to the player. Before I could think about it any further, Ito spoke up hesitantly.
なんだ？
この実験施設、機能を終えたっておかしいですよ。その割にあちこちに人がいましたよね。
Yeah.
小さな女の子も。
How do you explain that, by the way? I mean, again, the facility shut down and everything. All the crazy people are just running amok, but it's been a while. Hasn't anyone done anything about this yet? Maybe they just can't leave, or... But then again, if they were just stuck here this entire time with no food, you know, they would just die, starve to death, you know, if nobody was around. There has to be someone taking care of them.
そうだよね。
俺たちその女の子を追ってここへ来たんです。ここが廃棄された施設って言うなら、あの子一体何を？
ああ、そのことか。
Kunosato closed the file on Minamisawa Senri, and her face took on its usual cool and motionless expression.
ここは今、実験中にトラブルのあった被験者たちの保護施設として使われている。
実験中にトラブルのあった被験者？
実験に失敗して脳に損傷を負ったり、正気を失った患者を程度によって軟禁、もしくは監禁しておくための地下収容所ということだ。
Okay, with a weird way to set up this weird, you know, secret prison, but alright. A cold chill ran through my body. I guess the woman, you know, with her stroller wasn't deemed dangerous enough to keep in a cell. She just wanders about, I guess.
まさかそんなことって。
ありえねえ。
ひどい。
目的のためならどんなことでもやる連中がいる。お前たちが相手にしているのはそういう連中なんだ。だから最初に警告してやったろ。
Well, I mean, on one hand, you know, they irreparably ruin a bunch of people's lives, but on the other hand, at least they're still taking care of them? I don't know. But I guess it's more so that to keep the secret under wraps, you know, instead of just straight up killing them, so that there's no witnesses, I guess. But who knows? Maybe they will kill them eventually. Kurosato opened another file.
これで見る限り、現在でも20名近くの人間がここにいるようだな。
Okay, 20 people. Alright. She scrolled down the page and a new picture appeared.
待ってください。その子